I just watched the video of this 6-year-old kid, Isaac Anthony, giving his top 10 reasons why you shouldn't vote for Obama. And honestly, it scared the hell out of me because who knows anything about politics at that age? When I was 6, I knew a lot about dinosaurs. I knew a lot about trains, but I didn't have any notion of political opinion until I was at least 12 in 2004 when Kerry ran against Bush. And even then, that was just an emulation of what my parents had told me. Now, everyone's political views are heavily shaped by their parents because that's what they grow up listening to. And it's not unrealistic to think that if his parents hadn't taught these things to him at this age, he wouldn't grow up to believe them anyway. In fact, I believe he probably would have. And I'm not saying that your parents shouldn't teach you anything about politics because that's just unrealistic. But at 6 years old, you shouldn't be concerned about who's president. You should be enjoying being a kid. You should be playing with toys, dinosaurs. That's what being 6 years old should be like. Political world is just an ugly, ugly place that children so young really shouldn't be involved in. And what makes this even worse is that the things they're saying is just ignorance-based fallacies and misguided opinions. They're not in any way representative of Obama's presidency. For starters, saying on healthcare, Isaac Anthony says that he wants us to wait in a long line at the doctor. That's not what Obama cares about. A long line at the doctor. Requiring everyone to have health care is really the same concept as requiring everyone with a driver's license to have auto insurance. Because if you're driving down the highway and you hit somebody and you don't have insurance, they're screwed because then they have to pay for it and it wasn't their fault. If you get really, really ill and you go to the hospital and you don't have insurance, then we're screwed, the taxpayers, because we have to pay for it. It's not because he wants us to wait a long time at the doctor, and anyone who knows anything about politics should know that, and I think his parents do know that. But it's these kind of statements that are really what makes the whole political environment so caustic these days. This is why Congress can't do anything, because this is what the constituencies are shouting. They're not arguing about facts or actual positions. They're everyone, and this is not just a right-wing thing. This is a left-wing thing too. This is everybody. This is why I hate politics, because everyone's just shouting. They're uninformed and they don't even know why. They hate the other side. You shouldn't hate the other side. You go to his fourth point where he talks about Mr. and Mrs. Obama aren't proud of America. How can you say that? How can you say that about anyone, that they're not proud of America? What makes anyone more American than anybody else? What makes anyone else prouder of America than anybody else? I don't think that anyone is qualified to make those kinds of statements. It's really unhealthy when you start questioning the motives of people who disagree with you. Okay? You don't have to like President Obama's political stances, but he's not disagreeing with you because he's not proud of America, or he's not as American as you are because he wants to do some kind of harm to the country. Okay? If you didn't like President Bush, everything he did that you disagreed with, wasn't because he was trying to harm the country. You wouldn't say that. No. President Obama is doing what he believes is best for the United States. And I think you can say that about just about any lawmaker. Some of them are real sons of bitches, but I believe most of them are trying to do what they believe is best for the nation. Just because you disagree with them doesn't mean they're bad guys. They're Americans, proud, just like you, just like me, and you just happen to disagree with some of them. And then we go to his top reason. Nobody knows where he's from. Now this is really what bothers me. Because if there was really any doubt of where Obama was from, he wouldn't have been elected. Okay? This issue has been settled. He is an American citizen. He was born in Hawaii. Accept that. Okay? I don't want to try and give any reason because I think that would probably be counterproductive to what I'm trying to say here. But don't try and discredit the man just because you don't like him. Just because you disagree with his opinion doesn't mean that for some reason he doesn't really have the right to be president or he's a bad guy. Everyone needs to chill. I'm not asking anyone to agree with my political opinions. Now, I've tried to step around them. I mean, you can safely assume which side of the aisle I stand on. But the other side is not, they're not the bad guys. And if you're on the other side, I'm not the bad guy either. I want what's best for this country. Obama wants what's best for this country. Mitt Romney wants what's best for this country. And we all disagree. But we're not bad guys. And I don't think you should be teaching your 6-year-old kid that the President of the United States is a bad guy. I think that if you disagree with him, you can vote against him in November, and in the meanwhile, hope that he does a good job, rather than trying to discredit his Americanness or trying to say that he has some sort of ulterior motive and that he's not trying to do what's best for this country. This is why I hate politics. Because it should bring out the best in us as a people, and instead we'd rather call each other names and argue about instead of debating actual political opinions. If you want to talk about what you think is wrong with Obamacare, then why don't you actually discuss the policy instead of saying he wants us to wait in long lines at the doctor, because that's not what Obama wants, and that's not the point of Obamacare. So if you have a problem with it, then let's debate the problem. Let's just be honest in politics. As voters, as constituents, as Americans. And I think if we all just calm down, we would have a much better nation. Look, it's the Olympics. I'm proud of America. I really want to be proud of America. So please don't teach your kids that the President of the United States is a bad guy. Okay?